Ice storms and tornadoes are good examples of natural forces that can have a devastating impact that not even a managed, healthy forest could withstand. Non-native invasive plants are another rapidly emerging problem, not only on the Missouri landscape, but across the country. While not directly affecting large trees, these unwelcome guests outcompete native forbs, grasses, and young tree seedlings, thereby impacting tomorrow's forests. Eradication efforts are mildly effective at best and very costly. In this segment of Session 2, we will look at 3 health issues that you can at least mitigate, if not completely eliminate from your woodland through active management. These are insects and disease, wildfire, and unrestricted grazing. 2 naturally occurring pests are particularly harmful to Missouri's woodlands. One is a fungus and the other is an insect. They will serve as our poster pests because they highlight the interrelationships among the host tree, the attacking organism, and the environment under which the attack occurs. It's kind of like the old fire triangle you might have learned in grade school. Take away any one of the 3 components and the problem fails to develop. These examples also show what happens when humans enter the picture and how we can either help or make matters worse. The explosion of dead and dying oak trees in the central Ozarks since 2001 is commonly attributed to an insect called the red oak borer. But it is really a complex phenomenon collectively referred to as oak decline, and it has been brought about by several factors coming together in just the right sequence to create the perfect storm. Missouri's early history of overharvesting, followed by burning, grazing, and poor or no forest management set the stage. The virgin forest contained a healthy mixture of shortleaf pine and black, scarlet, white, and post oak. After all the trees of any size were cut, farmers and ranchers burned the cut-over lands to encourage grass for their livestock. These practices killed the young pines and encouraged the oaks to resprout, oftentimes creating 2 to 3 trees where just before there was one. Many of these overcrowded trees managed to survive on the infertile soils found on ridgetops or south and west-facing slopes. As time passed and the 21st century approached, the black and scarlet oaks were nearing the end of their normal lives of 70 to 90 years. Finally, with the prolonged drought from 1998 to 2000, the red oaks were weakened to the point where they could no longer fend off the naturally occurring organisms whose jobs are to attack weak trees and recycle the nutrients back into the ecosystem. Among this suite of organisms is the large and easily seen red oak borer. Hence, it got top billing in news releases. But enough about history. Let's pick up the story at George Barnetz's farm north of Salem.
George just kind of walked in the woods here. We're on, I believe, the south edge of your property. I want you to tell us a little bit about the stand that we're in and what do you see as a landowner going on in here?
This tree, this black oak here, has died in the last year. You can tell from the leaves that are still hanging on the top of it here. This is what we're getting into an awful lot on some of our poorer sites of where we have any black oak or red oak. The trees have to be salvaged within the next year or so, or they'll have no value for timber whatsoever. So that's what we're getting in the process of doing right now. We're going through our worst sites, our poorest sites for black oak and red oak, and we're more or less harvesting anything that will make a log.
That's good. As you said, this tree has died within the last year. As we're standing here looking around us, we can see other large mature black oaks in the state of decline. In fact, within the next year, they too will be dead, just like this tree. Currently, this tree still has the salvageable wood in it. You still have some dollars tied up in this tree. You have the choice at this time to either harvest this tree and take advantage of that and gain some income, or letting it stand, rot, and eventually fall over and losing that money. Probably going to be doing a little harder cut in here than you would have normally have liked to have seen, but your stand is full of these 70 to 80-year-old black oaks, red oak species that are falling out of the picture. And within the next 3 to 5 years, most, if not all, of the mature black oaks in this stand, which is a south-facing stand, will be dead.
Mike, let's take a look at the life cycle of this bug here. So mom comes in, and she lays her eggs on top here, probably in a crevice of the bark.
Right.
And then the larvae dig down. We're actually seeing, they actually mine out the sapwood. Here's the cambial layer right here, between that dark and the light, the bark and the wood. And they just sit there, and the larvae, that we're actually looking where they've kind of come in and mined this out. I'm going to pull this bark away so you can kind of see that. Yeah. And that's, so the larvae just sit right in here.
Right, feeding for the first year.
Feeding
and of course,
for the first year.
This would have extended out here a little bit further.
Yeah, we got a cross section right here. So they've done it. They go into the wood and then do a little dog leg up and then come back out. Well, how extensive is this problem in the Ozarks, what you're seeing?
Very extensive. I've seen in the last 3 to 4 years the population of the red oak borer has increased dramatically.
And what's the prognosis in these stands? What's your guide that you're using?
In my professional opinion, I would say in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years, the majority of our red oak species here in the Ozarks will be gone.
What's going to come in behind it?
Luckily, we've got in some areas a lot of, like in this stand that's around us right now, a lot of post oak, a lot of white oak. Those will carry in. We aren't going to lose the red oak species altogether. We still in the understory have a lot of the younger red oak species that are coming on. So their young ones are here. It's just going to take longer to get them up into the overstory and produce more of that mast and saw log. So we're just going to lose the overstory red oak for a while. When you're a landowner looking, you've got money tied in these trees. So you're looking at either letting these trees stand on the stump and die over the next 3 to 5 to 10 years, or going ahead and doing a harvest that may be harder than you would like to have done, taking out more trees than you would like to have seen, but at least you're getting those trees on the ground, you're getting some money back for them, which are going to die anyway. Mm-hmm. So you're utilizing the resource, it's wise use, and that's what conservation, of course, is about.